Aloha, it's Kiana, and here are today's top Hawaii headlines from the editors at the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Also, mahalo to Longs Drugs Hawaii for sponsoring the show. Head on over to your neighborhood Longs Drugs for all your shopping needs. Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi says he plans to sign into law a ban on firearms in 13 so-called sensitive places across Oahu. Speaking on the Star-Advertiser Spotlight Hawaii program this morning, Blangiardi said he would absolutely sign Bill 57, which the City Council passed this week. Blangiardi also said the city will provide signage to businesses and facilities that will say whether weapons are allowed or prohibited. Under Bill 57, the city would ban firearms at 13 locations starting May 1st, including schools, government buildings, hospitals, parks, and public transportation. The U.S. Supreme Court in June limited states' abilities to restrict the carrying of firearms, but Blangiardi said the ruling allows counties to make their own restrictions. The International Criminal Court says it has issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin for war crimes because of his alleged involvement in abductions of Ukrainian children. The Netherlands-based court said today that Putin is allegedly responsible for the war crime of unlawful deportation of children from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation. The move is largely symbolic since Moscow does not recognize the International Criminal Court's jurisdiction and does not extradite its nationals for prosecution. The court said that while its judges have issued the warrants, it will be up to the international community to enforce them. The court has no police force of its own to enforce warrants. Honolulu firefighters are investigating the cause of a large fire that broke out at a Mapunapuna warehouse. 9 Honolulu Fire Department units with more than 30 firefighters responded to the fire on the 2700 block of Kilihau Street Thursday at about 6:40 p.m. Firefighters found smoke coming from the side of the warehouse and flames on the rooftop. They brought the fire under control by 7:30 p.m. and extinguished it about 10 minutes later. HFD said no people were in the structure at the time of the blaze and there were no injuries. 4 Honolulu police officers have been charged with felony crimes in connection with a September 2021 car chase and crash that they allegedly caused and conspired to cover up. The City Department of the Prosecuting Attorney said Officer Joshua Nahulu is charged with collisions involving serious bodily injury, which is punishable by up to 10 years in prison. HPD officers Eric Smith, Jake Bartolome, and Robert Lewis were charged with first-degree hindering prosecution, which is punishable by up to 5 years in prison. At about 3:30 a.m. on September 12, 2021, Nahulu, Smith, Bartolome, and Lewis were dispatched to a noise complaint at Maili Beach Park. Prosecutors say that when officers arrived, a white Honda drove out of the parking lot, and Nahulu, Smith, and Bartolome allegedly followed in pursuit. Nahulu allegedly caused the Honda to crash, and then he and the other officers left the scene. They allegedly returned to the accident scene and acted like they knew nothing about it. Several of the car's occupants were severely injured, including one teen who was paralyzed. Finally, Honolulu police are looking for witnesses after the body of a 61-year-old man was found with fatal injuries near Ward Avenue on Thursday. Crime Stoppers said a passerby discovered an unresponsive male with fatal injuries at the intersection of Captain Cook Avenue and Emerson Street at about 6 a.m. The man was later pronounced dead by Honolulu Emergency Medical Services. He has been identified as 61-year-old David Dodd. Anyone with information about the case can call Crime Stoppers at 808-955-8300. The public can also send anonymous web tips to honolulucrimestoppers.org. For more on these stories and all the latest headlines, subscribe to the Honolulu Star-Advertiser. Visit Hawaii's top source for breaking news online at staradvertiser.com and download the Star-Advertiser mobile app. Mahalo, have a great weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday.
I was able to earn my master's degree in 6 months at WGU. The competency-based learning made all the difference in the world because I was able to apply what I already know and move through those courses faster.